Welcome to Unleash the Awesome with Dave Gambrill. All of us have unique skills, talents, and abilities that aren't being used to their full potential. Our mission is to share the people, tools, apps, and other resources that will help you unleash your awesome on the world.
Yo, what's up? It's Dave. Welcome to another episode of Unleash the Awesome. Today, let's talk about what if. Yeah, what if, or I guess more precisely, the words we tend to use after that statement, what if. Right? I found that people who are stuck on the sidelines, people who are procrastinating, people who are chasing perfection, which is ultimately the most insidious form of procrastination, one of the problems they run into is as they're attacking their problem, as they're growing their business, as they're trying to do something new, they say, what if, and then they fill it with something negative. What if this doesn't work? What if this sucks? What if I start this and I can't figure it out? What if negative, right? And when I'm coaching and counseling and mentoring people through this, one of the things I'll say to them is, well, what if you flipped the script? What if you said, what if I do this and everything's amazing? What if I do this and we crush it and we help a lot of people and make a lot of money? What if by doing this, I change 1 million lives? What if, right? Positive stuff. And I get it. It's human nature. And a lot of us were kind of programmed through our youth to chase perfection, to get the straight A's, to get the smelly sticker on our test, smelly sticker. Maybe I'm dating myself with that reference, but we want to get everything right. And as adults, we don't want to look foolish in front of others. But, I think in a lot of cases, that scenario, those insecurities are stealing from your family's financial future. Because in order to do something new, you got to try new stuff and you're probably going to fail. You're probably going to make a mistake. You're probably not going to do it perfectly. And so one of the things I've actually talked about on this podcast before I did a whole episode on it is how I flip the script for myself and for many of the people I work with is instead of chasing perfection, instead of trying to make it all right, instead of getting the straight A's, right? Instead of focusing on that, I focus on the opposite, which kind of sounds at first a little strange, but it really works, right? And my success philosophy is suck first, suck less, success. Right? With the first time you do something, anything, it's not going to be great. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be world class. I'm not saying you're going to intentionally try to make it suck. You're going to do the best you can. But when you look back on it, you're going to be like, whoa, that sucked, right? I look back at some of the first episodes of this podcast and I go, oh my gosh. I look back at some of the first Facebook Lives I ever did. I'm like, whoa. I look at my YouTube channel, some of the first videos. I'm like, what in the world was I thinking or doing? Right? We all have to start somewhere. When we look back, if we care about our craft and we're improving and we want to get better, then you'll probably look back and be like, man, that really sucked. So instead of focusing on getting things perfect, I just encourage the people I work with to get something out there, get a minimally viable product. You've probably heard that before, an MVP. Get something out there and then make it suck less, right? Again, don't chase perfection. Let's just fix something, one little thing, put it out there. Okay, that was great, except this, this, and this. So let me fix this one thing first. Let me try again. And then you put it out again. And then you try to make it suck less and then make it suck less and make it suck less. And eventually, before you get anywhere near perfection, by the way, eventually, you will see success, right? It's just constantly whittling back on those things that aren't quite right and making them better. You've heard me say this before too on this podcast. If you listen to more than a few episodes, because Seth Godin said this to me one time, you cannot improve something that does not exist, right? Or I can't remember exactly who to give attribution for this quote to, but one of my other favorite ones is, you cannot plow a field by turning it over in your mind. All right, so no amount of sitting there and thinking about it or wishing about it or wondering what if and all the negatives is going to get it done. You got to say, what if I do this and we get something out there and then I can tweak it and I can fix it and I can try to make it better. And the other thing is, or the other thing they should remember is a lot of the things that you are stuck on, a lot of the things that you're worried about are not irreversible decisions. They're not life or death decisions. They're not Cortez burn the boats decisions. Right? I'll talk to a lot of people and say, hey, you probably should go invest in this software or this course or whatever. And they're like, oh my gosh, but what if, okay, so if you invested in that software and you're paying monthly and you use it for a couple months and you don't like it, okay, so you stop paying for it. What's the worst that happened? I would suggest that the worst that happened is you learn some things about how to use software, how to grow a digital marketing business, how to do whatever it is that software is all about. And you'll learn what you liked and what you didn't like. And then you can go pick something else that might work for you. Maybe you like a different user interface, right? So I'm sure you've heard it put this way too. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. So a decision like that's not irreversible, right? You go take a course or something and you go through it and you're like, okay, I didn't learn a ton, or I might not make it $1 million now, which hopefully that's not how you went in thinking about the whole thing, that you just take a course and make $1 million. But you take the course and you're like, okay, but I'm still not clear, whatever. What's the worst that happened? All right. You invested a little bit in your personal growth and development. You learned some things, hopefully, if you went through the course content and it was any good. And then you can take that information and apply it to your next attempt. Right? Think about this just like if you were to take kids to baseball practice. They spend, especially when they're little, let's talk about t-ball, I guess. They spend a lot of time just learning how to get their glove down and stop a grounder and pick it up. And then they spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to throw it over to first base. Right? And then they'll do that over and over and over again. And that has nothing to do with the hitting side of it. And then they'll go up to the plate and they'll take a swing and another swing and another swing. And they'll hit the little rubber thing that holds the ball, and the ball will fall off the tee and not go anywhere. They got to learn how to make contact. They got to learn how to keep their eye on the ball, whatever, right? How many hundreds of swings do they take at that ball over some period of time that season to learn how to get a nice level cut, keep their eye on the ball, and just hit a solid ball back up the middle, right? And then they take it to the next level where somebody starts pitching to them. Maybe it's the coach, and then they get to the point where other kids are pitching to them, and they take swing after swing after swing. Maybe they go into the batting cage in the off season and take a swing. So if that's what it takes for people to be successful, right? Repetition, repeatedly, like getting better, focusing on making things a little better, right? I don't believe that practice makes perfect. I believe that something closer to perfect practice makes perfect, although I don't believe in perfection. But if you are really working on your craft, why do you think that you are just going to do something the first time and it's going to be amazing? That is not going to be the case. That doesn't work that way. I don't know why we delude ourselves into believing that. But that's unfortunately, as adults, what happens. So we're like, okay, I'm going to try this new thing. I hope it's going to be awesome. And you get all geeked up about trying to make it awesome. But the what ifs creep in, right? Or the buts, the big buts. I want to do this, but I want to try to launch this thing, but what if I do this and it sucks? I'm telling you, it's not going to be great. Just get that in your mind right now. Almost embrace it. I'm not saying embrace being bad. I'm saying embrace putting something out there. Be proud of the attempt. Be excited to get it out there. The best part about this is, especially if you're building a personal brand, you're going to do stuff online, things like that. When you first get started and you're not that great, no one's really paying attention anyway. No one really cares. You're not going to have a huge audience. That's fine. So keep doing it. And as you start getting better, as you start finding your voice, as you start finding your groove, your audience will start to find you. You will suck less, and then you will find success. But you got to take that what if statement and you have to start filling it with opportunity, positivity, possibility, abundance. What if I do this and something amazing happens? Because when you come at it with that mindset, it will most definitely help you unleash your awesome on the world. See ya.
Thanks for listening to Unleash the Awesome. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to your podcasts. And please share us on your favorite social media platforms using #UnleashAwesome.